And that was what took the time for me to be willing to change my reasons for doing this work, this most amazing, noble, challenging work that we're doing here. So why are you in this satsang now? Are you hoping to get a little bit closer to this imaginary future point, or maybe even arrive at this future point now where you're free? Or are you willing to give that idea away? You know, the word surrender means in its root to give back. So to give back something that was never yours is to surrender. To give back that which is not original to you. Are you willing to stand as the self now? Whatever ideas your mind has about however imperfect you still are and what you need to practice and what you're not sure of, are you willing to take a stand now? You are already that. You're never going to be any more the infinite being than you are right now in this moment. There's only thoughts that are clouding that experience. And with a willingness to shift your entire paradigm, those thoughts can be gone very, very quickly. They'll come back, knocking on the door. Every now and again, do you want to play with me right now? But as the self, you let them in, you don't let them in, it doesn't really make any difference. They're just going to be inside you. They have no power over you. You don't have to get rid of them. You don't have to transcend them. They're just thoughts. No different than a chair, a table. No different than a planet, speck of dust. They're just thoughts. They're here for an infinitesimally small amount of time and then they disappear. Left alone in their natural state, they come and they go. They don't hang around. So can you, in this moment, dig deep inside and see if you can find a willingness? There's a perfect willingness already present in you. It's not even something you have to cultivate. I'm willing to step into reality right now. Whatever that means, I don't know. Whatever that means, I'm up for it. I'm willing to surrender the ideas that I have further to go, that I've got to correct some flaw or earn awakening or be ready for awakening or receive it or embody it. All of those things that I spent a long time trying to do and failed utterly, I'm glad to say. What would your life look like if the only reason you did anything was because that was what was happening right now? If there was just peace and joy, no more journey, no more traveling, no more becoming, just watching your life upgrade, 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 over and over again, each day a little better. There's nothing that you can do, no process that you can do that's going to get you closer to being willing. That's just going to put you further away. If you set about doing some practice to try to get there, because you're doing that from the idea that you are a someone, a person, a separate being. There's only, in each moment, the increasing conviction that you're already free. Despite what your experience is right now, that's where I'm going to make a stand right now. And I'm saying this to try to shock us out of this not quite there yetness, this kind of one more thing I have to do, fix or solve or become before I'm free. And, even in this physical incarnation, we've been doing that long enough, haven't we? Who knows how many physical bodies have come and gone before that, where we're still doing this. And whether it's this lifetime or 100 lifetimes in the future, it's still going to come down to this particular point right here, isn't it? How willing am I to have all of my thought structure be utterly wrong? That was kind of scary for me. Also exciting, also open, free. I did not know where to stand. I had finally no reference point, and that was terrifying. Because everything that I used to, every problem I encountered, I would go at it as a separate being. What do I do to fix this? Which one of my toolkit do I, spiritual toolkit do I use to kind of find my way back out of this? And in the end, just to let those problems come and go because they're nothing to do with me. It was terrifying. But after 2 or 3 days of making a stand, something really began to shift. And I'd like to invite you to make that choice here. Within you is the resources to combat anything, the courage, the willingness, the love, the compassion, the wisdom already there, present, covered over maybe currently by these ideas. The willingness and the ability to embrace even the heaviest of emotions and to feel them. From time to time they come up. As the infinite being, they only need to be felt and then they go. The more identified we are as a separate being, the more work we might seem to have to do to let that go. So, are you surrendered to this? Are you willing to give back what we accidentally took on? To allow your whole life to change and become a reflection of this. It'll change and it'll remain exactly the same. Maybe everything remains the same on the outside. A bit more abundance or a lot more abundance. Inside, just emptiness, freedom, passion, joy, just going through each day, experiencing, just going through that experience, whatever that is, to see what that's like, to experience it. And I hope that I've inspired you that there isn't a better time than now to do that. And you'll forget, you'll go back to becoming, doing, thinking, deciding, all of that. Working, earning, spending, saving. All the things that we think we're doing, being born, living life and dying. You'll go back to it every now and again. And with this willingness in place, you won't be able to stay there for very long.